Hurricane Milton is expected to be one of the biggest hurricanes to hit the United States for years. But Hurricane Milton is also going to shake up Social Security. Today I want to explain what people are currently discussing, what lawmakers have been discussing behind closed doors, and what this could mean for Social Security moving forward. So, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So first off, you need to understand what is going on right now. And that is, there's dire warnings for people in Florida to flee as Hurricane Milton begins to lash Florida. Not just the coast, but the entire state. Now, here's what you need to understand. We are about to see a huge crisis on our hands. And it has to do with the amount of destruction and damage in the path of these hurricanes. Now, before I get into that, I first just want to give a warning to people that are receiving Social Security checks actually by mail. Look at this. It says what Hurricane Milton means for Social Security payments. What it means, because Social Security payments are supposed to hit your accounts today. The problem is, if you get a physical check in the mail, they are not going to be delivering mail today. Not for people in Florida or in certain parts of Florida. As a result, your check could be stuck, maybe stuck at the post office. Also, if your home is not there, your mailbox has been swept away over the next couple of days, guess what? You will have to go into the post office to go and get your mail. That is if the post office, again, is still there. If for some reason the post office or the sorting facility has been damaged or mail's just swept away, well, you got to get your check reissued. So that could be a problem. Now, that was my little warning because I know a lot of people have been asking. They had to leave. They had to get up and just go. And their check is supposed to be in their mailbox. Well, your mailbox might not be there when you get back. So unfortunately, you may have to request a replacement check. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Because this is what, according to reports, there's a lot of discussions on this. Look at this. It says Hurricane Milton threatens to trigger flood insurance reckoning for Congress. Now, I was talking to somebody about this just the other day, about the amount of money that's going to FEMA, and obviously flood insurance is a huge one. But I was talking to somebody, and they were saying that they're concerned. Now, I want to read a little bit of this article and explain why. Look at this. It says Hurricane Milton, a monstrous storm set to hit western Florida Wednesday night, is poised to deplete the finances of the government's chronically indebted flood insurance program. Congress is already bracing for a fight over what to do about it. Not only is Congress bracing for a fight, they've already had discussions. Many of them are backroom discussions trying to figure out what is the next step. Okay? I want to keep reading this. It says key lawmakers and aides are beginning to game out the likely impact of the National Flood Insurance Program, which is the primary option for millions of American homeowners to protect their finances from catastrophic flooding. It says the emerging view from several lawmakers and staffers is the NFIP, that's the National Flood Insurance Program, claims spurred by Milton and last month's Hurricane Helene will likely exhaust the program's nearly $5 billion in funds and force it to tap $9.9 billion in Treasury borrowing authority, while the NFIP collects premiums and pays out claims similar to a typical insurer. It's been upside down financially because of weaknesses in how it assessed flood risk for decades and giant losses brought by devastating storms, including Hurricane Katrina. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, here's the reason why they are saying that this is going to cause a Social Security shakeup, because they are saying that right now this is the sole lifeline to millions of people. If they don't have this insurance policy, this program is not here, millions of people are going to struggle. They are not going to be able to rebuild their homes. They're not going to be able to do any type of demo and reconstruction simply because they don't have the money and they didn't have the right insurance to cover their home. Well, here's what I want to read to you again. Look at this. I want to read this one right here. Okay? But I'm get to this first. It says, the fundamental question here is, will $15 billion be enough to cover Helene and a Category 5 that hits Tampa? It says, no, $15 billion probably would not ultimately be enough money. It says, the looming disaster is set to rekindle long-running political conflicts about how to shore up the program. Congress has struggled for years with how to revamp the NFIP amid clashes over whether changes would drive up the cost of coverage and housing. The prospects for an emergency intervention to ensure claims are paid if such a move is necessary post-Milton are likewise looking fraught as opposing ideas emerge over how to bridge the gap. Among them, whether to simply raise the NFIP's borrowing authority, appropriate money to pay policyholders, or cancel more of the NFIP's debt, as Congress did with $16 billion in debt forgiveness to pay claims after 2017's string of hurricanes. Well, here's what I can tell you. They are now discussing how this is a key lifeline to millions of people. You know what is another key lifeline? Social Security. Your Social Security benefits could be reduced by 22% in the next 10 years. Now, obviously, what is going on with hurricanes, this is a here and now problem that obviously Congress needs to address. But the longer we wait for Social Security and to address this issue, right, in this potential insolvency, the harder it's going to be to actually come up with a solution. As a result, according to reports, lawmakers are now discussing potentially putting this NFIP's program, putting that alongside Social Security. Because right now everybody's talking about the hurricanes, flood damage, rising costs of insurance premiums. That's what everyone's talking about. But lawmakers say, we have been worried about Social Security for years, but nobody's doing anything about it. This might be the time to tie the two things together to ensure that while everybody's looking at these hurricanes, right, the natural disasters, the amount of money that isn't going to FEMA that could be going to the American people, well, what do? We need to vote on this. We need to get something done. And that's why I bring this to your attention. Because now, according to multiple reports, there have been discussions regarding Social Security and regarding tying it to this program. Again, is this the right move? I don't know. But is it a move? Yes. Could it work? Yes. Could it also fail? Yes. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. But what I think is interesting right now is that this is something that more and more people have been bringing up. How do we pass something for Social Security? Well, the simple way is to just pass it alone. But there's not enough people that are willing to actually vote on that. What they are trying to do is hide a Social Security package into other bills and pass the other bills. So then certain lawmakers can simply say, I didn't vote on Social Security. No, I didn't vote on extending its solvency. I didn't vote on any of that. No. I voted on giving more money to the homeowners that lost everything because of the hurricanes. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. But what I can tell you right now is this may just be the beginning. Because again, the national insurance, the flood insurance program is one of the, again, potentially in a crisis. So is FEMA, right? So are so many other programs. So what we could start to hear very soon, and this probably won't be right before the election, it will probably be after, but what we will likely see is more and more lawmakers are going to try to pass other bills. I think Social Security will be one of the ones at the very top, but in order to do that, they're going to include it with all these other priorities. So we will see, but the one thing I can tell you is this will likely shake up the talks of Social Security here in the near future. So as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.